very bright. All right. I've got some music playing in the background today, and I make absolutely no claims to this music. I have added the link to where it is playing from, which is a YouTube channel in the background here. And we're just going to do some saging. Cleanse this virtual space. And to myself. Beautiful. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Evanescence Enterprises. I am your host, Shannon Fisher, here to deliver you the 7-day forecast, and I like to call it the good news forecast. Because when we get insights as to what we're navigating through or what's upcoming, being forewarned, if you will, can help us a lot. So, being an eternal optimist, always looking for the silver lining in everything, because this world that we live in is full of surprises. And it can be quite magical when we allow ourselves to shift out of a mindset that is locked in fear from old programming. So just to recap a little about last week, for those that may not have been aware, I wasn't aware until later in the evening during a drum circle and a birthing ceremony that Wednesday, February 1st, which was Imbolc, it was also deemed and recognized as officially worldwide Saint Bridget's Day, aka Goddess Day. So that was really, really huge and significant for those that are watching for timeline shifts and up-leveling of our consciousness and as a collective and where we're headed. So I can't even put into words just how enormous and beautiful that this is. So absolutely wonderful. And I remember one of the cards that we had last week was right in the middle was the yes from Ganesh, which means the obstacles have been being cleared and new doors of opportunity are opening. And sure enough, that's exactly what's been unfolding in my world and many other worlds, whether sometimes we just don't see it that way. But you will, I promise you will. So my world is very different now. I have had 9 days where my son has left. He is living on his own, and I am alone in this big space for right now. I'm loving it, really. He's not too far, so that makes it a little easier with the whole empty nest syndrome, if you will. But we talk every day, so we're good. And business is expanding as well. So I do have an update on my website. If you guys would like to check that out, I have 4 new types of readings using the Earth Magic Oracle cards. And these are done by email only. So I will not be connecting with you one-on-one. If you do want to connect with me one-on-one through Zoom or in person, the other readings available for that are still up there. So, and I have a psychic development workshop starting February 16th. And it's 3 days and it's Thursday night. So the 3 weeks in a row on a Thursday for 2 hours. So February 16th, February 23rd, and then March 2nd is the last day for that. There are 6 out of 8 spots available. So head on over to www.webinescence.ca, go under the special events tab, and everything is available for you to sign up right there. unless you would like to get in touch with me for a different way of payment or whatnot, then just reach out to me directly and we'll get you hooked up. I'm also hosting the very first ever tarot and oracle card reading, specifically just card readings, 101 workshop. And I'm doing it on Zoom, so a virtual event for the first time. That's going to be on February 21st, which I believe is a Tuesday, and for 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And 20 people max can attend that. And then the in-person tarot and oracle card workshop, which is reduced to 10 people, will be held Saturday, February 25th from 1 to 3 p.m. And then there is another drum circle gathering that we're having outside the regular location at my home, which is going to be at Gallery 202, which is on First Avenue in Mission. And first time ever we're going to be down there February 14th. So Valentine's Day, if you're looking for something new and different to check out and be a part of some amazing energy, feel free to come on down. They have a huge space, so we can accommodate quite a few people. Unlike my home, where we do have to cap out at 10 people for the drum groups. But yeah, there's some openings of other outdoor locations that will be happening for special events like new moons and full moon ceremonies. So again, you can check out more about the drum circles on my website. And what else? The next drum group making workshop is happening March 11th and 15th. It's a 2-day class. So if you are looking to sign up for that or find out more information, you can find all that info on my website. Okay. So sitting with Spirit this morning and asking for what the most important messages are for all of us this upcoming week. The first thing that dropped in that was very clear, and I automatically started writing this, was new beginnings. And with these new beginnings, the energy that we have right now is just being amplified in much higher frequencies. So those of us that are energetically sensitive, it can be overwhelming if we don't know how to manage it within our bodies. There's lots of tools out there, and I've actually been guided to find out more about specific types of breath work to work with in order to manage these energies a little more better than just doing meditations or going for walks in nature, although those things are awesome to have and keep those going. But there's this breath work that I feel is extremely important for this next level of integration that we're going through. So I was drawn to these two people that were on a Deja Blue podcast, Lucas and Hella, I believe, if I'm not pronouncing their names wrong. I'm so sorry. I mean, absolutely no disrespect. But their website is Awakening, and it's spelled with an O, not an A. So awakening.com. Go check that out and see if you're drawn. They do have virtual events, which I'm going to sign up for their 7-day free trial there and see what that's like and if it's going to be resonant for me. But like I said, I'm being drawn to it, and Spirit's making sure that it's coming into my field so I pay attention. So yes, with these new beginnings, it also comes with, I want to say, a challenge for us to have more trust and faith in what we don't know about a possible final outcome. Right? Our little self, if you will, wants to know it all and have all the little details in place before it takes action, so that it is aware of what the outcome is going to be. So there's absolutely no trust and no faith there, and you're like stuck in this little box. So surrendering out of that and tapping into our higher power that we all have, and we're not disconnected from. It's an illusion with that lower self. this higher power, if you will, all that is here to co-create with us. And it requires us to trust and have faith that we are being supported, we are being guided, and we will be brought the opportunities when we are open to receive and we ask for what we need, right? And if you don't know what you need, then you ask for whatever it is that you need and be open to receive it, because you do get it in some form or another. So be open to everything and attached to nothing in order to fully utilize and integrate the experiences and the gifts that are being presented, because everything is a gift. Everything is something we can learn from and grow from. And when we stop judging things as good or bad and we just accept things for what they are without putting a label on it, then we can get into this place of flow where life just happens to unfold with a lot more grace and ease, as if by magic. So, the other message that came through was discernment. So, making sure that what you're hearing and what you're feeling with other people and situations, that you're running it through an open heart and not getting caught in the brain with it. I caught myself with this just the other day. Situations are coming up. Oh, because of the full moon in Leo, let me say. Passions and that light is really being ignited. But if we're not managing our energies and realizing that this passion and stuff is not meant to be projected onto other people, when you recognize your own power, you don't start taking that power and placing it over other people and start dictating, what others should and shouldn't be doing, because it may not work with you. The best thing to do with this newfound power that we all have within ourselves is how to manage ourselves, right? There's the message here. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? So before you bring an issue to somebody else, make sure that where you're coming from, are you coming from a place of fear, right? And if that's the case, then you're in that lower self, which is the shadow or the ego. And that can end up causing a problem instead of, switching and surrendering out of that, managing your own energy and realizing, oh, wait a second, no, somebody else's business is not going to affect me because my energy is good, right? Just something to think about. And discernment is really, really important, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, on the mainstream media. Although I am seeing some commercials every now and again that are more in alignment with awareness. And even this one commercial about discernment: don't believe everything you see. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it has this little picture of a hippo, but it's a miniature tiny hippo, and they've got it running around a computer desk or a tabletop or whatever, and it looks like it could fit right in your hand. Well, there's absolutely no such thing as that like that hippo in this world that is actually that size, but the TV and the graphics and everything that people can do have made it look very real, right? So don't believe everything that you're seeing. Throw that through your heart and like, sit with it with an open heart. And when you ask internally from a state of peace and calm, if this is true or not, your body's going to give you a signal. If the answer is no, it's not, you're going to get a signal that doesn't make you feel good. So in other words, it's kind of negative, which means no. And then if it is real, right, then you're going to feel a lot lighter and excited, right, which is positive. So that's your answer, yes. great exercise for you guys to tap in and get into that kind of communication relationship with your own physical bodies, because we communicate with our higher powers, if you will, through that heart center. We cannot access it with the limitations of what's programmed within the brain and the ego. Okay, so discernment this week. Question everything with curiosity, not with accusations. Okay, because it could be right and it may not be. So ask for the guidance to find the clarity and tune in and trust how you feel about it. It's very, very important. Okay, so this new full moon in Leo is still very potent. It was yesterday at around 10:30, if I'm not mistaken, a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so we're still in the third day of that 3-day window with it. So if you haven't had a ceremony with these energies to set intentions, and they're saying celebrate the accomplishments and the cycles, for me, to celebrate the cycles that have come to an end and what these new beginnings are actually looking like now. Celebrate it. Celebrate you and your loved ones, the accomplishments that we all continuously make. Okay, so, yep, they're saying that's it for now. Pull cards. All right, so I've pulled 3 cards from the Ascended Masters Oracle. And I'm going to pull 1 additional message of guidance from the Gateway Oracle. Awesome. Okay. Cool. It's very exciting. So I think I may have forgotten to mention the dates, but this forecast is good from today until and including next Sunday, or this upcoming Sunday, so February 6th through 12th, 2023. But Spirit is also reminding us that it has no linear limitations. I have asked for the guidance as a collective to navigate this week, and Spirit is giving us that. But that does not mean that these messages will not be useful and helpful to you sometime in the future. So if you are being guided to watch this video long after the live and the duration for what the reading was intended for, please know that these messages they are valid for you wherever you are. Okay, Spirit has no limits or boundaries like the human does. Okay, so starting with the bigger picture, which after I pull the main messages are connected to our physical reality and what we can expect with our relationships and our work, everything in the physical. And then what remains at the bottom of the deck, once I pull your main messages, we have what's referred to as the energetics or bigger picture. And this is connected in, I want to say, like out of 3D and into 5D and higher. So starting with the bigger picture and our energy for this week, we got Isis from the Ascended Masters. And her message here is balance, career, and home life. So what we're going to be doing within these main messages for the upcoming week is to get us the overall bigger picture is learning to do this balance. Now, when this card comes up, balance, they show me a scale right away and they literally just chuck it out. And then they put this new scale that has three different I don't know what they're called, scales, I guess, but instead of just having two for a balance, there's actually three. And this is the thing with humans that are very caught up in the third dimensional matrix of eat, sleep, and work. And that's your life. Where are you playing, right? And if you're playing, are you playing to numb out that life where you're doing things you don't want to be doing, but you think you have to be doing that in order to survive? It's really important. That's not really playing, that's escaping. And then you usually feel pretty terrible afterwards. If I know from personal experience, so it may be fun in the moment, but you end up paying some consequences for it. So there's a different type of joy and play that our being, our soul, the inner child that we have, wants to be expressing itself. And when we allow ourselves, when we give ourselves permission to tap into that inner child, the inner child's gonna ask you or tell you or guide you to do something that makes you happy, that's healthy for you, and there's no repercussions other than raising your vibration, making you feel real good, and then anybody in your field starts to feel good. It's a win-win situation. So when that card pops up, it's a reminder that, yeah, you have your responsibilities with your job and your family and your household, but it's also our responsibility to incorporate equal amounts of playtime, which is I put into the category of self-love, right? So if there's room for improvement with self-love, this is what we're going to be learning and working with this upcoming week. And then from the Gateway Oracle, we have exceeding expectations. And it says, I soar into excellence. So this week is going to be proving to yourself, if you will. Not that you're looking for proof, but it's just going to naturally come with validation and clarification that you can and you will, and the fruits of your labors are coming into fruition. Things are going to work out better than you can even imagine. But it's really important that we're balancing every area of our life in each day. Don't do your best to stay present with where you are right now, and don't get sucked into the past. That's already been done. We can't change anything. We can change how we're going to feel now and set our intentions for moving forward, but not to put our thoughts forward, right? Because that takes you out of the now. Want to be in the now moment as much as possible. Okay. Dropping down into the main messages here, we have the first one from Ascended Master Pan with fertility. So here we go. This is right in alignment with new beginnings. So for anyone watching this video, if you have been looking to expand in your family or get pregnant for the first time or again, now is a very fertile time for those that are looking for that or hoping for something like that. For the rest of us, where those days kind of look like they are over, then we have a new beginning and fertile energy for new projects, new adventures, a new life. So we can sing or play this music to a different tune now. And it's a beautiful process. Second message from the Ascended Masters is Serapis Bay with a message to go now. Now, some people are really going to need to hear this if you're sitting in situations where the energy is quite toxic. It's time to leave, right? You can't change anybody. And we're not here to change anybody or dictate to anybody else how and what they should be doing and living, right? So if you're having an issue with somebody else not being something that resonates better for you, then it's up to you to remove yourself from the situation or shift your energy, right? Manage your own energy. So either this message is a message for all of us to, now is the time with this new energy to leave what is no longer serving our highest and greater good. Recognize the lessons and make those hard decisions and walk away if need be. And for those of us that may not be having any challenges at the moment with other people or situations and life is pretty good, this is saying to go towards that next new thing. Right? Now's your time to step forward towards your dreams. So I feel there's going to be a new opportunity coming for all of us this coming week that will allow us and help us to move towards those dreams and those goals and away from the things that don't serve us with greater ease and compassion. And our final outcome, if you will, we have Hilarion here with healing and health. So, of course, our health and healing automatically balance out when we're balancing our own energies better. So they're saying to share with you, and I know you probably heard this, but maybe a different perspective will help you understand it deeper. When our little self or the ego, lower self, kicks into fear because its program is for us to stay safe. And the ego is program specific. It's a specific program to keep us safe and out of harm. So anything that part of ourself that doesn't know what an outcome is or what a situation actually is, it instantly gets triggered into fear, which puts us into a state of fight or flight. When we're in fear, overwhelm, anxiety, we're in shadow, we're in fear, right? We're now in this state of fight or flight. So what happens physiologically when we're in that state, because that our brain is now sending signals everywhere to get ready for fighting or running in order to save our life. But really, there most likely is no potential danger in front of you, but you're allowing the thoughts to get the better of you, which is keeping you in fight or flight. Now, what happens energetically is the energy that is dispersed to the proper organs and areas of our body for optimum health and well-being have been drained from there and placed into our arms and our legs in order for us to fight. So if we are in a state of anxiety and overwhelm more times than not, your body is incapable of healing itself because it's not in that state of homeostasis where it naturally will balance itself out and work itself. We have to be calm in order to be healthy. Wow, that was simple. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, we have to be calm in order for our bodies to repair itself and stay in a place of health. So this is why that the message of working with your inner child to bring back joy into your life. And if you're doing things, forcing yourself to do things that don't bring you some form of joy and appreciation, then now's the time to shift into doing leaving that and shift into doing something that does make your heart sing or put a pep in your step, right? We were not meant to come here and be slaves to some wicked society, making a ton of other people, rich in what seems like a very limited, resourceful life, because that's a big lie. And most of us fell for it because we didn't know any better until we started tapping in or had some kind of spiritual awakening. But here we are, we're learning. The truth is coming out. That veil is very thin, and it keeps getting thinner and thinner because there's an evolution within the consciousness of humanity that's taking place right now. So, Spirit says, calm the fuck down. If you're worried about what other people are going to do and how it's going to affect you, go do what you need to do to manage your energy, because you're giving your power away to somebody else again. You're coming from that limiting place that's not connected to trust and faith, and managing your own energy with the power, the immense amount of power that you have over yourself, right? And it can be tricky. We have to catch ourselves and check in with ourselves. Where are we operating from? And if it's the ego, then learn how to surrender or breathe through it in order to shift back up to that higher perspective. And the more we connect with our inner child, the more calm and joyful we're going to be, the more we can speed up any kind of healing process that is taking place or needs to take place, and then promote that optimal health and well-being moving forward, which will prevent disease from coming in, right? So learn how to, they keep saying, calm the fuck down, right? Like, to be real, we can't be healthy if we're in constant states of fight or flight, right? Anxiety, overwhelm, and depression, right? We do have tools or toys. I really like my session with Nicola Farmer from oh shoot, I forgot what her, I'll add her link into the thing. But she's an amazing intuitive guide, mentor, and teacher over in the UK. And I had this just absolutely amazing session with her a few weeks ago. And we did an ego and inner child realignment session. And wow, was it ever powerful. And she decided, and I think it dropped in while she was having the session with me. So it was really cool to watch her get that message at the same time of having the session with me. But instead of calling things tools in our toolbox, because that can be connected to work and it feels like the energy's a little low, but if we start calling them toys, we use the toys that we have in our toy box, that totally changes the energy of everything. And I know for me, it just shifted and went a lot higher just with that one switch of the word, right? So we have lots of toys that we can play with in order to be tapped into our inner joy, that light that we have, and start shining it. And our final message for this week from the Gateway Oracle, soaring into joy, right? It says, childlike wonder fills my life. So these two messages from the Gateway Oracle, the exceeding expectations, the mantra or positive affirmation is, I soar into excellence. Embrace those words, say them, sing them, feel them. And also with soaring into joy, this positive affirmation and mantra, make it a mantra. Childlike wonder fills my life. And when we allow ourselves to tap into that childlike wonder, that inner child within, which is not broken, it's not separated, it has not been traumatized, There's misconceptions out there everywhere, and people are still looking at it from a 3D perspective, and it's not. That's the light, and I believe it's referred to as a inner child because it is timeless. There's no age. It's pure energy essence straight from the source, and that's what we have operating energetically within us through that heart space, right? But the childhood trauma that most of us have gone through have nothing to do with inner child trauma. It's really, really important to be discerning everything we thought we knew in order to uncover the truth, which is what sets you free. And if we keep thinking that our ego is bad and only gets us into trouble, no, it's not. It actually does save our life when there's actual danger present. So we have to thank it for every time that it pops up, because it is doing its job. But that database that it has only stores the memories of the bad things we've been through so that it can better prevent us from recurring those things, right? It doesn't have the database of faith and trust in this bigger picture, because that's part of the human experience, and that's okay. So we don't need to kill off any aspect of ourself, and there's no aspect of ourself that we need to okay, so I was going to say there's no aspect of ourselves that we need to heal, but they're like, hang on a second. The only aspect that we do need to understand and rewire is the neural pathways that were created from the programming that were instilled with a lot of lies or misunderstanding and misconceptions, and those are being stored in that limiting program that we have that helps us have the human experience, right? So it's retraining the brain in order to function and switch into a multidimensional and multifunctionality that we are capable of having. And man, it's a game changer when we can realize, oh, this is my lower self coming, so I'm going to check myself before I go out and project that to the world, right? And when I catch myself saying something, it's like, no, wait a second, that's not right. I'm dialed in. Spirit's letting me know. So as you just saw, you witnessed it. Stop myself, check myself, and here we go, So yeah, this full moon in Leo it's a strong one, and it can be used for beautiful things to get your feet on the ground and just start running with the things that are passionate within your life and that you can bring of service to the world. So find that light, soaring into joy through that inner child. Communicate with your inner child through your meditations or through a writing exercise. Ask that part of yourself what it wants to do today. And then I'm going to leave this with you guys. I invite you to ask the universe, or all that is, what's the best that can happen today? Right? And then be open to miracles and synchronicities, and make sure that you're in gratitude for all the things you have instead of focusing on the things that are not there. That changes everything as well. All right, so I am going to leave this up for anybody that does want to have a personal mini reading through the YouTube channel. I have since realized that people cannot comment. You may be able to watch the video, but you won't be able to interact unless you have you're signed up with YouTube. So that might be a bit of an issue. But that's okay. If you're watching this replay and you are commenting before on or before the 12th of February, 2023, I will answer your question with spiritual divine guidance as my gift to you, just to get this going. Otherwise, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit that little notification bell so that you know when I'm going live. And yeah, I'm going to try to figure out how we can do a stream on Facebook and have Facebook. Yeah. Okay. I'll figure this out. I'm still getting technically acclimated. That's the word they're giving me. So here I am doing the big thing on YouTube. It's pretty amazing. I miss the interactions with everybody, though. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to try to generate some more traffic and figure out how to do that. So without further ado, from my heart to yours, have a very joyful and ecstatically blissful upcoming 7 days. And if you would like to dive in deeper with a one-on-one session with me or find out more about the workshops and events that I have, visit my website at www.webinessence.ca. Namaste.